everybody, hope everyone's having a great day so far. My Tuesday has been going perfectly so far, I have to say. Been really productive and now I'm ready to start some more programming. So let's get right into it. So, if you might remember yesterday we were working on... where is it now? Tree message is what I'm looking for. And so for some reason Unity didn't know how to generate code for this, so I'm going to re-enable, well I guess I'll just show first of all. So when I have this code, it should give me an error. Yeah, it says unit weaver error. Children type. Action tree node. So I guess it can't have an array of action tree node. Which is a little weird. So it seems like for some reason can't generate something for this action tree node. So I wonder why. I'm gonna just comment out or uncomment things one at a time and see what causes that error to fix itself. Okay, so that is okay. I have a feeling it's probably, oops, I did it the wrong way. It's probably either action or having another array. Okay, so let's try this now. Oops, I did it again. So yeah, it's probably, for some reason, having another array in here doesn't like that. Oh, I bet it's because it can't... Oh, I typed this wrong. Yeah, it should be message node. Maybe that'll fix it. Okay, so it looks like you kind of have cyclical references in it. Okay, well, I thought this might happen. So this will be a little more trouble to deal with, but we'll just have a flat array here, which will be, I'll just call it nodes. And then root is probably always going to be 0, but might as well leave that there in case. And then here, instead of referencing the node itself, we'll just reference the index in this array of the children. So we're just kind of flattening the tree into an array. So this should be okay. Do you like it now, Unity? Oh, I guess I should have cleared it. Seems like it's okay. Let me just press play to make sure. Okay, so that's another thing. We can't have cyclical references in messages. So yeah, that's not a big problem. Another thing is we had talked about trying to figure out how to serialize a Lua table, and unfortunately it's not gonna be super simple. We can't use Moonsharp's JSON converter because it doesn't handle user data, which are C# objects. Because you can see here that when it tries to convert a user data into a JSON string, it just returns null, which won't do. We could try to restrict the Lua tables to only contain no user data. The problem with that is that then it couldn't store things like the block positions, which is a little annoying. So, but then I thought that we'll also need, well, I guess it doesn't make much difference. I was gonna say we'll also need to store these tables in save data, but either way it should be okay if we use JSON or some other thing. So I think, and also the JSON, it only supports string keys anyway. So really the only advantage this has over trying to write my own thing is that it would support table values easily. And I'm not sure really if the how useful that would actually be to the scripts. So I think the best thing to do is go ahead and split up the tables into something like this. This will be table string and then our table keys. And then we'll need to have, I don't know, some other object for table values. And if they have the same index, they go together. And we can restrict the keys, obviously, to only strings. And then the values can be restricted to, I don't know, strings, numbers, and block data, or wherever else we want. So let's check. This is okay. Oh, no, it's not okay. Oh, it doesn't like system object. No, let's make sense. So let's put float there for now. So that's okay. So probably what I'll actually do I think I just need to decide once and for all what will allow it to be stored in those tables. Well, in fact, maybe we want to have it be an actual Lua table, and we'll just have like add a memory. We'll say something like add memory object, and then it'll have a key value pair. Bit of a shame. But let's think about that. It's because we need to serialize the tables. We can't easily do it any other way, I don't think. I mean, and even if we decided not to send the tables over the network, we'd still have to save them to a file. So, yeah, there's no way to get around it, I don't think. So let's go ahead and add in the Lua interface like this is out of memory class. Public. serializable, it needs to moon sharp user data so we can use it in Unity. And again, we'll need to hide the constructor. Okay, so this class can just have a dictionary. String. Then we'll need to have, let's not be lazy, we'll make another class. Well, I guess it can actually just be a string to a dynamic value. Okay. So if we let's write something here. So get value would be easy. So we just okay, so dynamic value, and then we'll use try get value, of course. Okay, so if this returns true, that means that the value is in the array, or in the memory. If it's not, okay, I found out that you can actually throw errors to Unity pretty simply. You just throw a script runtime exception. So no memory value exists with key. I always forget to put string format at the front. So yeah, we should go back through our Lua interface and add these exceptions instead of just returning null, but I wrote a note to do that here. I think I'm doing this correctly. Yeah, if you raise a script runtime exception, then it shows up in Lua as a normal Lua exception. So okay, so yeah, that's fine. Then we'll also, of course, need void set value. We could also do this with an indexer. Yeah, so I can make it work as much like a Lua table as I can. Maybe I will do that. So if you've never seen this in C#, I guess we should take and this lets you basically use this class as with the bracket syntax and other objects. Oh, I forgot the type, so we'd return a dynamic value. We could just still leave this get value if somebody wants to use it. And then if value dot type is nil, then we would actually want to remove value for key. Otherwise, set value. wrong type. And also the dynamic value. Okay, so another question is, do we maybe want to allow indexing in this memory with something other than a string, like maybe a number? I could see that. But I'm not sure I really want to. I think to keep things simpler, we can just stick with a string. Yeah, okay, so that raises like a good point about why we might want to allow tables in here so Lua can store lists. So I think it might be worth it to try to do that. Just trying to think about the best way to how, because we know from here that we can't have cyclical, so we can't like have memory actually store on memory. Well, I guess for a table, it would just work like this, and we'd have like a subtable class, and then the object that would be stored in. Yeah, so that might be possible. But then the Lua tables, yeah, because then the sub Lua tables would also need to be like a memory instead of our actual Lua table. So even if I wanted to store a list, that would not work either. I guess I could restrict tables to only being lists, or subtables. Yeah, this is a bit more complicated than, well, I knew this topic would take a bit of thinking. It's really a shame we can't just use the JSON. But maybe it's for the best because it's not the most compact either. So we would be sending some useless data over the network. So one thing I can see that we might want to send over the network is like a movement path that we pre-calculated. Although, I guess that would actually be stored in the action tree and not like in a memory variable. So maybe this will be okay if we just have strings and then simple non-table values. I guess, yeah. I guess if we ever need to add tables for some reason, it won't really be that difficult to add later, because everything will be kind of compartmentalized in this class. Okay, yeah, so let's just start simple, I think. So should we throw an error here if the value doesn't exist? I'm kind of thinking no. One thing we do need to check is also make sure that the key is not null or empty. Null so we don't actually need the format. Okay, and something similar there. And it's okay to overwrite a value, so we don't really need to do anything else, but we do need to check to make sure that we accept this dynamic value. So if switch value type. So yeah, we'll accept booleans, we'll accept numbers, string. Let's see, anything else? Definitely not functions. Not a nil, because then it would have been deleted. No tables, no threads. And some user data. That's the whole reason that we're doing this, actually, so... we need to... we need to check the user data type. I don't really. Well, I was thinking, so we have to do a few more checks here, that I should call another function to actually set the value. But I mean, all we're going to do is just put it into the dictionary, so it's not that difficult. Oops. Values. Okay, so how would I make sure the user data... I guess an easy way would be if it implemented interface. Basically, the only thing that we want to be able to be stored in there right now is a board position. So let's, I guess I'll just go ahead and do an interface. So memory storable. I don't think it really needs to be public. I don't think it actually will have any values or members in it. I think it's a technical term. So if value dot user data is memory storable, then we could just add it. Oops, I did it again. Values, and then we don't need to throw the array. So I guess I'll actually do this with a boolean. So is storable equals false. Maybe a cleaner way to do this would actually be to extract this into another function. So private. Why not make it public? Is storable. So here we return true. Return true. False. And then if it's any other type, we'll return false. Okay, so now if is storable, then we set values key equals value, otherwise cannot store So now I just need to change the places where I stored a Lua table, which was I think these indicators had one, or the option did. Okay, so it was set from somewhere else. Oh yeah, because this was arguments. So where is the target option? So now I don't actually need that script object. Yeah, so I'll just get rid of it. And then also action tree node. I don't have to send that anymore. Okay, so now I'm sure there's going to be some other exceptions here. Yeah, because we don't need to do this anymore. Right, and yeah, I can't translate the memory directly anymore. So I guess we need a way now to store the memory somewhere else. Okay, well these, the option memory actually is not ever going to be dealt with by C#, so I don't think we need to try and convert it to anything else. So let's see. So where is the option data? Okay, so we can just use the Lua interface dot memory. So that should get rid of some of those errors. But the action tree node will actually need this is the game object node, and so here, since this memory will need to be sent to both the save file and the server, we'll need to go ahead and translate this to some other object. But for now, just to get rid of the errors, let's go ahead and just store that. Script anymore. What's it still angry about? Oh, okay, was this still loading? Alright, so let's see. Started on it. So the game action, this object, oh well no, this doesn't actually store the memory at all. The only thing that will is the action tree node, and that's because the condition scripts may need to reference something in here. But once the game... So that's true, these, this memory probably won't need to be stored. Oh, well, no, it will, because, yeah, the actions will have the memory because some things in here would maybe affect the way the game executes an action. I don't know about that, now that I think about it. Well, okay, so we know that this is going to need to be sent over the network regardless, but it might not need to be saved after all. I guess we'll see when we get to that point. I think it depends on how I decide to have the game execute the actions that the scripts give us. Because I don't think the... Yeah, because the Lua scripts themselves won't actually, like execute any actions. It just tells the game what actions to actually perform. So the actions shouldn't need to have the Lua memory. So that's true. If there's maybe a way, now that I've already done all this stuff, that I don't actually need to use this. So the condition type, see, right now I just store the position in memory, but maybe a better way to do it, well, doing it this way is much more word, like flexible. But another way we could do it is that this can move to condition actually just looks at its child branches and then gets the target position from that instead of having to store it in the memory. Because, yeah, the conditions, they basically just choose which branch will actually be executed. Well, I think it's probably best if we have it like this, just to try and be a bit more flexible for the mod authors. It's a shame that we have to send it over the network though, but I think it's, if we're going to let the mods access this data, then I think it is needed. So I'm trying to think, because like if we had a damage action here, the condition could still like look into the actual amount of damage that will be done by looking at the actions below it. Okay, well, I think I'll leave the stuff that I have so far. But I think for now, I mean, because it'll be easy to add in the memory. But for now, let's maybe assume that we won't provide this here, and that the conditions will only try to use all the data from its child actions. Well, in case, I mean, let's just go ahead and write a condition to see. Okay, so they can move to, let's say it'll have some arguments. Probably, yeah, the specific node that it's executing on, and then information about the monster. So I think that the option should definitely have memory, which is, thankfully we don't have to send over the network. But because in order to create the option, the game probably had to do some calculations, and that behind the scenes stuff might not necessarily be displayed in these indicators, but I think at this part everything should be spelled out. What we'll want to do is we will need to make sure, let's move this right here, so I can just click back and forth like that. So we can move to this position basically if there's no monster in that position and the block below it is still empty. Alright, and the block below it still exists. That position will be, oops, equals nodes get branch and move to, is that what I called it? Okay, this can move. Dot target position. And we set this value here, and this is also going to get serialized so we can actually use it. And then, so let's see. Battle state, is that what I called it? So we'll want some function to return if there's a monster on this position. So battle state dot is monster at position is false, and position dot. Okay, so we actually need to get the prototype to make sure it's empty. So how did I do that? Battle state get block. And I guess I should check if it's in the board. Okay, so if actually don't need that. So if position is in board and get block position prototype is empty. Let's clean this up a little. And battle state. So I guess I will need the below position. Below equals position dot below. State not equal empty. And battle state is monster at position is false. Okay, so if all that is true, then we would, I guess we return the name of the child that will flatten to. And if for some reason, otherwise we would return fail. So yeah, we can write this can move to without the memory. And I'm struggling to try and think of any action that would have information that's not in the tree. So yeah, I think we'll just remove that. So yeah, I guess I'll leave all this code with a memory for now, just in case as we go farther I see that, oh, I needed that, I shouldn't have deleted it. What am I trying to do? But I want to read or leave a note here. Clean up memory objects. Delete and move back to tables, or move forward with serialization. So right now we'll just kind of leave, oops, do I need to save it? Leave all that code and come back to it. Alright, so that actually makes things a lot simpler in terms of serialization. So we still need to do this flattening of the tree, but we don't have to worry about sending a table, which is really nice. Okay, so what is the class that actually would serialize this? I think it only happens in one place. Play, and it's the choice finalizer, isn't it? Yeah, it's right here. So let's just make a function that will return action tree message. It's right there. I guess I'm surprised I don't use the namespace already. To net message, and we'll have the action tree list. I guess I don't really need to provide this because I'll already have this variable for the action trees. So action tree message is new. And then I'll just return it at the end, so we'll get rid of that error. Okay, so let's clean all these objects up. Start with a new slate. So we got to add the player index, which is easy to do, thankfully. Oh, actually, oh yeah, so it's just a list. So message.trees. I guess I need to get, so this will be the game list equals selected actions dot value. And so the game list, so it'd just be a new game list count. So for int t equals 0, message trees length. So we'll need to create both the action tree, message tree, and this will be the net tree. And we'll go ahead and insert that into the list. And then action tree. Game tree is just game list.I. Oops, T actually. So first, we just have to give it the player index. We can just pass it. Okay, so let's run here. Oh. I forgot. It's one variable deeper. Root is always 0. So I guess what we actually need to do is go through the tree and count up every value. I mean, like every child, so we know the size of the tree. So that brings me to a good point. I don't think there's any way that the tree can have like repeated nodes that it's and have like a cycle in it. I don't think that's possible. Let's look at the interface. There's an ability action tree node. Yeah, because you can't like set the tree. You can only add with a string or get, so you can't actually mess around with the references, so yeah, I don't have to worry about there being cycles, which is nice. Okay, so private. I don't know if I need to. Oh yeah, I guess I will just make a separate function. So find tree size. So int count equals 0. Unless no, actually need to do that. So we actually will need to use like a queue again. Use a stack as well, doesn't make much difference. I'll go ahead and create it because I always forget to do that. Alright. So we'll enqueue the tree root, and then while node queue count is greater than 0. I guess to make sure that there's not an infinite loop, you can just do something silly like this. Alright, less than 100,000. So we'll just use this I as a count, basically, to make sure that there's not 100,000 node deep tree, which would probably be too large to send in one message anyway. It off the queue. And then we'll basically just increment count and then add all the nodes children. And then return count. So I guess we'll, yeah, if count equals 100,000, then that means something has gone wrong. I'm not sure if that would throw an error or not, but I'm sure Unity would throw an error, so I'm not going to worry about it too much, because that's got to be too big to send over the network. Alright, so now we know the number of nodes, and the reason we need to know that is so that we can create the list of nodes in here. So find tree size. Alright, and I guess I'll clear the node or the queue here just in case there's something left over. So basically got to do the same thing here. So at node equals 0. And then node queue enqueue tree root. So I think I might need to have a helper function here because I think it will need to keep track of its index, kind of like I had to do back to create the tree and the Lua caller. So I guess I'll need another queue. So private struct tree flattener node. So we'll need the end index. And I think we'll need both. I won't need the network node, but I will need the action, the game logic node. Okay, so this is actually the count queue. Oops. I did that once already. I'll have private queue tree flattener node. So this will be the flattener queue. So I still will need to keep a count. Flattener queue enqueue new. So let's create a helper or a constructor here just to make things a little easier. So index tree node. Alright. So the index is at node and I guess I'll specifically put 0 because that's the root's index. And so I'll do a count here again just to make sure. So I equals 0, I less, oops, can't type, 100,000, and flattener queue count is greater than 0. Flattener queue DQ. Alright, so now here we would go ahead and create the next our message node. So what do they call it? An end tree. Oh, net tree, okay. So action tree message node. Oops, I forgot the new keyword. And I'll go ahead and put it into the nodes at the specified index. Oops. Okay, and then we set everything, which mostly you can just pass on. And let's go ahead and grab the action tree. I gotta get a drink of water just a second. Alright, I took the opportunity to blow my nose as well, so. Alright, so we can just pass the name exactly, I think. Okay, so the action we'll actually need to translate somehow. Which this will for sure be used in a bunch of different places, so we'll probably have some other class we can call to do this. For now, I'll just go ahead and have this dummy function. Okay, node action. What else? So again, the memory we're not going to worry about right now. Oh, the condition index. And I actually don't send an index. It should be the string because I think we decided that the index might not be the same across all games on the network, but they should each have a condition with the same name. That's not difficult to do. Condition name equals database. Okay, so we don't actually have a reference to the game database. Shall need to fix as soon as I get rid of that. It's a nice song, but lyrics don't cause trouble on YouTube, unfortunately. Data action tree conditions, game node, condition index dot name. Okay, and now we just need to enqueue all the children. So should I have a helper function just to make this a little easier? I guess it doesn't really make much difference. 0, I already used I, so less than our game node children count. We'll actually need to make the array first. Int game node children count. So now I can use this array. I think that the slightly faster you get length, instead of count, so I don't know if that's actually true anymore, but that's how I was taught. Okay, so first, for every tile we need to increment the count, and then so net node, children, C equals at node, and then we add this to the queue. It all gets filled out when the queue reaches that child. Okay, so that's good. I guess for now let's just go ahead and fill out these values right now. So what does it need? Alright, we already have some scripts that do this. I don't know if I actually like it being in these classes. If I delete them, I think there will be some errors and things. That's okay, we can deal with that. Have like an action translator class. Because really all it does is copy these things over, but at some point there might be some time where we, like right here, we had to look up, we had to convert from an index to a name, and we couldn't do that in this class. Don't know. I think this is all okay. But like for the save, we might not be able to use... Oh, I think the indexes will still be fine because that's how we store the list of monsters, but... Okay, so I'm gonna comment this out. And I know before we run we're gonna have to go and try to fix a lot of it, but... So I guess in preparation for that I should go ahead. So I guess the easiest way would be to just have a query. It seems a little overkill, but okay, I don't really like the way I structured this after all. Let's move the structure to the top, and that way all the variables this is actually a query handle, and it would give network action is the return type, and the argument is just a game action. So action translator. Action translator. Let's move over there actually. Equals controller. Use query. I don't think I need to name it anything. This type should be unique. So just be action translator. Send action. So I guess, yeah, I don't need this function anymore, actually. Okay, we can worry about actually creating that class So now there's going to be a bunch of errors in Unity because I took away those functions. Okay, like, don't need that anymore. To save action. Okay, I'll do this later, but so for now I'll throw not supported exception. So that way I'll know that I need to fix this when we get to it. To action, let's see, game action to save action. It's not obvious by the comment, but just make sure. I'll need to leave a comment. So not supported or this would be actually I guess it's a not implemented exception, isn't it? Not that it makes a whole lot of difference to it. Okay, now this is the other way around. I don't even know why this equivalent is there. Because the server shouldn't care about that. Maybe it was from something I did before. Yeah, I have that as well. So I'll just comment this out and then again. Oh, I need to use the system. Oh, of course I spelled it wrong. Same thing. Again, just to buy time so we can work on the current project instead of all this stuff, and then when we actually get here the game will give us an error so we can go back and fix it. Looks like, oh yeah, so now it's going to complain that some values are never used, so a bit of a pain, but okay, so are we done with the action finalizer? Looks like that's all good now. This is something. Oh yeah, so we still have this. Okay, and then we don't implement this query yet. So I think the only time this is going to be used is in the play scene, but maybe it should go in the networking. This doesn't make a lot of difference. I'll just do it in the play scene. Class for now, but alright, so we don't actually need any variables here. Right now we just will register a query, or claim query is the right term, and we'll return a network. game action. So network to game. And then we can just copy this code. We'll need others here, like the other way around, but I'll wait to do it. And then place up before needs to create this class. I'll go ahead and clean up some of this stuff. So let's see what happens if I try to play the game now. Got some problems. Cannot access field, position of user data, memory. Oh, right. Okay, so what I'm going to do is on some of this stuff I'm just going to go back to using pivot tables, basically on the target options. Oh, I'm going to have to send the script again. Well, it's a little annoying that I went to the trouble to delete all that stuff, but it's my problem for not thinking things through all the way, I guess. But then the actual, the action tree nodes won't have any memory. I'll just go ahead and delete this here because I'll leave it commented, but I don't think we're going to end up using it. Oh, then we're going to have to delete the memory from here. I guess that's not that big of an issue. Get action tree, and then I can just clear that. Okay, well no, this was correct, because we gotta get the memory into here, so it's a Lua table. Oh, I know what I need to do. I just need to change this to a table. And we can just use a Lua table here because these ability target options don't ever have to be saved or sent over the network, so they can store anything, really. So any errors? Type. Oh yeah, I just need to give it the script. Database, script environment. Everything good? Alright. Okay, so now what happened? Oh, it wants me to choose this player. So client sent a message, and okay, I guess the server didn't know how to handle it. That's probably what this is. Oh no, I sent it a null. Oh, that's because, right, not all of these nodes have an action. Okay. Let's clear some of this stuff up so I can see where it was. Alright, so right here, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, if the condition is, this would also throw an error because things that don't have a condition don't have a condition name. But I think that the serializer will get angry if I send a null value. So let's see. So if GameNode.condition index is less than 0, so that means that this node has an action. So and then endNode condition name equals empty string. Probably for these messages, just to be super safe, I should include a boolean. So is condition. False. So otherwise, endNode is condition is true. The condition name we get from the database, and we just need to give it an empty action. Okay. Another thing we could do is if the game node's name is unnamed, then that's going to send some super unneeded information over the network. Maybe a better idea is this a change? Because I think the only reason I called it unnamed is so that we have better error reports, but so where is that? So if it is null or empty, so we'll just have null here. I guess we'll have a string name. Although now I'll need to pass that. I guess what's the cost of it? Okay, so error name equals, oops. Unnamed. And then error name is just the normal name, I guess, not upper invariant. It'll probably look better anyway. So now I'm going to need to pass this. Values right here. Okay. And again, that was just to, so we don't have to send so much garbage over here. But if name is null, then we'll return empty string, because again, I think it gets angry if it's null. So. try it again and see how far it gets. Because I'm sure that the server will throw an error because it doesn't know how to handle these messages, but I don't really want null errors. So it's still sending null actions. Why? Condition index is less than 0, then it should have an action. Let's make sure the action trees, like it has actions in there, right? Oh, well, actually, that's right. Some actions can be neither a condition or an action node, or some nodes can have neither a condition or an action. Okay, so let's need another class. I guess I'll just put it in here. So public enum type none action condition, and then I guess nothing. And do nothing. All right, let's call it dead end. And now everything's going to complain that it doesn't have an is condition, but it's not that hard to fix. Okay. So maybe I should add a type to the game node after all. Because, yeah, this is getting a little confusing to try and figure out what kind of node it is. Actually running over right now. Okay, so click enum action tree node type. So action condition dead end. Okay, and then I guess we could just use the same enumeration in the network because there's not going to be a different type. Okay, and so this is still okay, but we'll need to like switch the type here. Switch case action. So we can just copy the type over immediately. Dead end. The condition name will just be empty, and the node or the action will just be empty as well. Okay, so now I need to set these types when we actually create the nodes. Type equals dead end. Well, I guess I can keep that, although it doesn't actually, well, no, it doesn't really matter. So condition and action. Alright, so let's try this one more time. And just see how far it gets. I hope that we get to the server. That was my goal for tonight. that's interesting. So we got an error because we got timeout. Yeah, we actually went all the way to the sort. Yeah, it says requested feature is not implemented. I'm surprised it kept going even though I got that exception. I think that's just because how it works is it yeah, sends complete next frame no matter what. Which I guess we should probably fix. But I'm really surprised the server didn't get mad because I don't think I've made the servers aware of these action tree messages yet. But it says it got all the ready checks. So, what is it? Play accept actions. Yeah, so what was the message? Yeah, see play choice actions. Okay. Gotta go up to the base class. Okay, well it didn't get a null. That's weird. Because yeah, this type, it should take an action list message and not a tree message, so I don't really know why it accepted that, but yeah, so I guess I'll leave this in here because that's what we need to do now. I don't care about that anymore. Alright. So, yeah, I better get going, already a little over tonight. That's okay. But, thanks everybody for watching. If you missed some of the stream and you want to catch up, I will put it up on my YouTube channel in the morning. You can find a link in my Twitch channel description below. And of course, feel free to follow. I'll be live again tomorrow at about 8:30 Eastern. And I hope to see you there. Thanks again for watching. Bye-bye.